The Apple iPad Pro 12.9-inch 6th generation is the kind of device that can either save your workday or become an overpriced screen you barely use. In the next few minutes, you'll know whether it's a buy or a skip for your routine, not someone else's. Here's the simple test. If your work week doesn't include heavy multitasking with multiple apps, real creative tasks like photo or video editing, or long note-taking sessions where typing and handwriting both matter, you'll probably regret this purchase. But if your day actually needs a fast, flexible workspace you can carry around, then this one is built for a very specific kind of person. Picture a remote worker who bounces between calls, documents, quick edits, and a dozen tops worth of tasks, and needs everything to stay smooth without thinking about it. That's the lens we're using, because this device makes sense when it reduces friction and keeps your momentum. Remote work has a focus problem. You're constantly switching context, and the moment your device slows down or forces awkward workarounds, your brain pays the tax. The benefit is that iPadOS is designed around fluid multitasking, so you can run multiple apps at once, use Scribble to write in any text field, and lean on Stage Manager for resizable or overlapping apps with external display support when you want a bigger workspace. When your day is split between communication, planning, and execution, that flexibility means fewer stops and fewer "I'll do it later on my laptop" moments. The mini conclusion is that this isn't about having more features, it's about staying in motion when your tasks change every 10 minutes. The next problem is performance under pressure, not performance on paper. A remote worker hits it when large files, heavy apps, and visual tasks stack up, and suddenly the device feels like it's negotiating with you instead of keeping up. The benefit here is the M2 chip driving an 8-core CPU and a 10-core GPU, plus Wi-Fi 6E for fast wireless transfers, so big documents, photo libraries, and large video files move quicker and feel less painful when you're working from almost anywhere. That extra headroom matters because it's not just speed, it's responsiveness while you keep multiple things open and keep your flow intact. The mini conclusion is that if your work involves real multitasking and occasional creative load, the performance ceiling is high enough that you can trust the device to stay smooth. The third problem is screen fatigue and confidence. If you spend hours reviewing visuals, reading dense pages, or editing content, a mediocre display quietly drains you, and you start avoiding tasks you should finish. The benefit is the 12.9-inch Liquid Retina XDR display with a 2732 by 2048 resolution, up to 1,000 nits of full screen brightness and 1,600 nits peak brightness, and a 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, plus reference mode, ProMotion, True Tone, and P3 wide color for a more color-accurate workflow. In real life, that means small text is easier to read. Bright scenes and dark scenes hold detail, motion looks smoother, and color work feels more trustworthy when you're editing photos, checking HDR video, or just staring at a timeline for a long stretch. The mini conclusion is that the display isn't a luxury here. It's the difference between "I can work on this anywhere" and "I only like using it under perfect lighting." Two honest downsides. First, the best laptop-like experience depends on accessories because Apple Pencil 2nd generation and Magic Keyboard are sold separately, and those are what turn this into a serious note-taking and typing setup with a built-in trackpad and protective cover. Second, the size is a commitment because a 12.9-inch device is amazing on a desk, but it's not always comfortable in tight spaces when you're moving around. Buy it if your remote work routine demands fast multitasking, occasional creative power, and a screen that stays comfortable for long sessions. Skip it if your day is mostly light browsing, basic documents, and casual media, because you won't use what you're paying for. If this sounds like the kind of practical upgrade you've been looking for, you'll find a link to the iPad Pro in the description below. Take a minute to check the details, read more reviews, and see if it fits your needs on Amazon. Some links are affiliate links, so I may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. What makes this device make sense is not a single headline feature. It's the way the whole setup supports a real workday. You get a workflow that's built for jumping between apps without losing your place, and the kind of performance that stays responsive when you're doing more than one thing at a time. When your day includes calls, editing, writing, planning, and quick turnarounds, that always ready feeling is the value. And there are a few details that quietly matter in remote work. Face ID means you can unlock and authenticate quickly without breaking your rhythm. The advanced cameras are built for real communication, with a 12-megapixel ultra-wide front camera that supports center stage, so you stay framed during video calls even when you move. On the back, you get a 12-megapixel wide and 10-megapixel ultra-wide camera with True Tone flash, plus the ability to capture 4K video with ProRes support, and a LiDAR scanner that enhances AR experiences by capturing depth. Those aren't must-haves for everyone, but for creators and teams that share visuals, scan spaces, or record clips, they can turn into real-time saved. So don't judge it like a regular tablet. Judge it by whether it reduces friction in your week, whether it keeps your work smooth when the day gets messy, and whether you'll actually use the multitasking, the performance headroom, and the screen quality consistently. If yes, it's a strong buy for the right remote worker. If not, skipping it is the smarter move.